So you click this video and you're probably wondering, how can I get more clients as a freelancer? Can I get more clients that pay well? Well, you're in the right place. I started as a graphic designer over 6 years ago, and within that time, I've worked with almost 100 clients if I'm to add my experience to date. You'll be getting everything I've learned so far, and hopefully what I share helps you reach your own goals faster and maybe even make a little bit of money here and there. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. Be sure to hit that like button so more people can benefit from what we're sharing in this video. Without further ado, let's get to it. This Finance Friday episode is brought to you by Payday. Find out how you can send and receive foreign currency as a Nigerian or African and stand a chance to get 200,000 naira to boost your career later in this video. When you Google the meaning of the word freelancer, the first definition you get is an individual who makes money on a per job basis or per task basis and generally works for a short time. They don't work for a firm, so they enjoy the liberty of working for different firms or clients simultaneously. And that's a fairly well-rounded definition. Of the nearly 100 companies I've worked with, some of the companies were also in the same line of work, whether I was a designer or producing videos for them. As a freelancer, you might be self-employed or have a business, but the nature of the role still stands. You're more or less independent of the clients you get to work with in some way. So how can you improve upon what you're doing? How can you get more high-paying clients? Improving your work. When I was researching and thinking back on what to add to this video, one thing kept coming up when it came to ways I got new clients. It was the fact that I was improving my work consistently. Improving your work in and of itself is not enough to get you more clients, but it can undoubtedly help you level up. Some prospective clients may not want to work with you immediately. In my case, I couldn't get any clients for a couple of months. So instead of just sitting idly, you can take the time to keep learning, keep practicing, and keep improving personally and professionally. By the time you get your first client or your next client, you would have gained so much that you will know how best to deliver your work efficiently and consistently. Mastering your craft and the industry is a significant benefit of that constant practice or constant learning. Reading books, taking courses, and delivering a good job. This way, you can specialize in a niche that you hold authority over. Also, I found that it helped when I communicated my clients' needs in projects and the progress made. Clients love when they understand you, and that does you a huge favor in their eyes. Plus, it helps them stay at ease. I also genuinely feel that the better you become with the work, the better you can communicate these things. Platforms. One of our many blessings in this digital age is having the platform economy. There are so many platforms right now that you can sign up on and get jobs. And I've mentioned them before on this channel. I'm sure you know them. There are sites like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, or even design contest sites like 99 Designs, for instance. During my career as a designer, these were the sites that I used to get some of my clients. I did earn between $500 to $2,000 on these platforms per project, and I must stress that it might not be the same for everyone, as working on these platforms is very competitive now. It might also not be as rewarding in the early stages until you've amassed a specific number of projects or reached a high enough level or top rated level or platinum level on these websites. That's when you might start seeing the big bucks. I've hired people off these sites, and my thought process as a client is usually along the lines of who's going to help me deliver this project better, who will directly address the issues that are raised in this brief, and who will stand out. I've hired for video work, audio work, and the likes, and I've paid a considerable sum. There are real opportunities here, but there are also other ways. However, these platforms are where I started from, and I can attest to getting clients and getting paid through these websites. Speaking of getting paid, one of the major problems being a Nigerian is receiving money from abroad. In fact, I've lost clients simply because they knew that I was Nigerian. Platforms like Stripe, PayPal, and the rest, they don't work for Nigerians. Even some platforms that work will almost want to shortchange you. One of the best ways I found that you can receive payments from abroad, here in Nigeria or some other parts of Africa, whether you're getting paid in euros, pounds, or dollars, is Payday. I've been using Payday for some months now, and here's what you must know. First off, the user interface looks very easy to understand. On the main page, you can send and receive money locally and abroad. You can also create a USD account and have it running within 72 hours. Then you can start receiving money from the US. The same thing applies to the UK to receive pounds, and you can also open a Euro account to receive that currency. All you need is the proper documentation, a passport, driver's license, or national ID card, and a bank statement that shows your name and address. You also get to create a card, either a MasterCard, which I already have, or a Visa card. You can swap from Naira to USD and spend with ease. I've done a few transactions on Payday. I've used their cards for some of my subscriptions and I found it to be quite fast. It's quickly becoming the all-in-one payment app a freelancer can use. They've also been so kind to partner with me in this video, so because of that, 10 subscribers who download the app with my link in the description below and use the referral code when signing up will get 20,000 Naira each, or $25 to boost their freelancing career. Whether you're getting courses or you're subscribing to a service, it will go straight to your Payday account at the end of April. So make sure you open an account, get downloading. The link is in the description below, and it might be you who gets 20,000 Naira or $25. Referrals. Once you've done an excellent job consistently, it becomes easier to ask your client to refer you to someone they think might need what you're offering. One of my biggest clients came from a referral because I had not only done the job, I went further to provide additional value in the form of surrounding deliverables. So for the first client, I designed a complete website with some pages. I did a homepage and about us page and the rest. The brief didn't necessarily require a mobile style design, but it would only take me around 2 hours. I also decided to include that mobile style design, some designs around how the clients can utilize that design, and then I added some mockups to show how the design could be used in the real world. It was a no-brainer, and this decision helped me get one of my first $2,000 plus clients. I'm not saying that you should always go beyond the scope, especially if it will cost you your profit margin, but delivering good work can help you get an easy yes when you ask your client to refer you. One more thing is that it pays to ask. Not all clients will go out of their way to refer you, but if you ask strategically, there's almost a good chance you get a yes. Also, just like I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel if you're finding this video helpful. Networking. I found networking to be a bit of a mixed bag for me early on. I used to be very shy, and that didn't get me anywhere, and it won't get you anywhere. Being an introvert can be very hard, but alas, networking is crucial if you want to change things for yourself. Attending events and not only listening but researching what the event is about beforehand, the potential attendees, offering your best self, and how you can help can go a long way. Let me tell you how I got my first job straight out of uni. I was already a decent designer at uni, and I was also printing flyers and banners to earn some extra income on the side. I designed the flyers for an event that a couple of my course-mates were attending, and hey, I already made my money. I believe it was around 150,000 Naira at the time, which was a lot, by the way. The dollar was probably around 200 or 300 at that time. Anyway, I could have easily said, nah, I've made my money, don't need to go for this event. And me being an introvert, that would have been a perfect answer. However, I wore a nice outfit and I went to that event. It was supposed to be a finance event, but there I was, an economics student with a passion for graphic design. Where did I fit in? I tried to meet as many people who were hiring as possible, but no one seemed interested until I met this guy named Ayo. He was so excited when he saw my designs that he referred me to 2 amazing people that were finishing MIT at the time, and they were starting their business here in Nigeria. After that event, we had a meeting, and just like that, that was how I got the job before I even finished university. The most amazing part is that I interviewed my bosses, the 2 founders that I met here on the channel, and we talked about how they raised over $100 million and how they've grown. You can watch that video with the card up above or with the link in the description. Essentially, the more you network, the more your circle expands, and with this, you can call upon highly skilled people who can put you in the right direction to find more clients. Collaboration. Beyond networking, you want to think of how you can leverage the power of collaboration. Not just featuring someone and hoping for the best, but strategic collaboration. Something I always say about collaboration is that you want to try as much as possible to keep the interests of the person you are collaborating with in mind. Don't just go into the collaboration discussion or relationship with what only you would benefit. That just means you're using the person, and chances are they would most likely find out and they will say a huge no. Go there and think, what can I do that would make this person better off, and how can it fit my brand? I was at a Sony event with Frank Itom, who makes dance videos with visual effects, and his strategy for collaboration was to look for someone and first off, understand their brand, understand their style, and also the kind of campaigns that they might be working on or the kind of brands that they might be working with, and then offer to help them achieve a more supercharged and more fun video with them. He knows his videos are fascinating, and he simply worked with someone who had a following and created something magical that would get in front of not only their audience but also the brands that they work with. Chances are that the brands that they work with might also want to work with him, or chances are that the brand that the person you're collaborating with might also work with you when they see that you've done something with someone that they know. And collaboration will help you understand your skills better and even learn new skills or new styles from the person that you're working with or collaborating with. And the work you create will then be added to your portfolio. Publish your work and leverage your online portfolio. Something you must act upon is putting yourself out there. I've talked about my journey as a graphic designer or user interface designer on the channel here before. The thing that helped me was putting myself out there and actively publishing my work. This happened differently a while ago before I completely switched to video production and making videos online. People would approach me seeking the kind of style of design that I was known for. If you're a designer, you want to leverage your social media. Nowadays, and of course, thanks to the internet, more and more people live in this digital space. The fastest way to be found is through your social profile, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or even here on YouTube. If you or your business profiles start leveraging the next point that we'll be talking about, where you are educating people about your industry or your craft, you can even help your clients understand what to look for faster and better. Your profile should also look professional and focus on what you're doing. It should highlight the best part of your skills, and it's even acceptable to add a little bit of humor, but you want to stay on brand as much as possible. Let them also be able to know what you're about. Also, if you're a designer, sites like Dribbble and Behance can work for showcasing your portfolio. Even some platforms like the ones we discussed previously have the ability to showcase your work. Teaching people and sharing your knowledge is almost the equivalent of putting yourself out there. Educating others about your craft allows you to research more if you are truthful about what you're doing. Educating people is kind of what I'm also doing here as well. In any little way you can, you might also want to share some nuggets, tips and tricks for people who can be your potential clients, your peers or colleagues, or even a much larger audience that might need to learn what your services are about. I found that the more I teach something, the more I know that thing, because I am driven to give the best possible value to whoever is learning from what I'm working on. In the first point, I talked about improving yourself, and I can attest to the fact that sharing your knowledge and helping others can not only enhance your reputation, and improve your work, but also indirectly help you get more clients or put you in view of people looking to hire you for your skill sets or your talents. Check out this video if you want to learn 6 research-backed skills that can earn you up to $900 a day in 2023. Over 100,000 of you have seen that video, and it's pretty useful. I'll see you in that video.